What's up, everybody? Welcome,
Howdy.
Teflon, aka Rob.
Let me
So,
throw my
do you
gang
have
signs
your
here.
do you have the comments turned on to the side so you can see them?
I'm full screen right now, but let me.
You see the little button that says comments?
Yes,
Okay, that way you
I'm
can
not
see the
seeing.
chat.
I'm not seeing it. But the window is there though. Oh, there we go.
All right. So
Oh,
Matthew
we got
Matson
close
here.
viewers.
Sup, nerds? Uh, so what you as the boys from Hollow Dope say, what you sipping on?
Well, I just finished my glass. I'm sure I'll pour another one. But I was recently turned on the Jameson whiskey. It's delicious. I'm a fan of just about any whiskey I can get my hands on. This and Bullet are right now my top two. So I've got that, and I've got a little bit of lemonade in here in case I
Nice.
start getting silly. What do you have in
uh,
your hella dope mug that I can't seem to get my
what
hands
do
on?
I always have in my Hollow Dope mug? There's only one thing that goes in my Hollow
Sponge
Dope mug.
bomb.
No, that doesn't go in the Hella Dope mug. That just goes in
Black
the
coffee.
can. Black
Black
coffee.
coffee.
What's up, Payne? Yeah,
Yo,
so I drink coffee all day long. You know, you got to have it. So I got to get some more SpongeBob though. I haven't had one in a
well,
while.
funnily
So
enough, I
what's
still
that?
can't find that near me.
No,
I still can't
I'm gonna
find
have
it
to
near me.
bring
Every
some
time I go
to.
to a beer distributor, I'll ask for it.
I'm gonna have to bring some down to Joe
They look
Fest
like I
for
got
you.
six heads when I ask for it. Oh, absolutely. I keep asking for it, and I keep getting looked at like I'm a psychopath.
What's up, Todd? So yeah, so I got Rob here as a co-host tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about some Mezco toys since Rob recently picked up his first Mezco a couple,
Like,
not even a full 2 months ago.
I ran out of food.
We're
How many I
talking
have there?
weeks. And he's already up to quite a few in his collection with more on the way. So
Great line.
yeah. So first I'm going to share my screen real quick and just show something off real quick. Hold on a second.
Oh,
So for anybody that hasn't checked it out yet, why are you not sharing? There we go. If you haven't checked out Hella Dope's new launched website, they launched the new site Wednesday night.
I
It's
saw that.
got a whole new layout to it, so it makes things nice and easy to find. So new things that have been just recently landed. Of course, you got the McFarlane, the new Batman Adventures, the Four Horsemen retailer exclusive, the one that was pre-ordered last year, that just arrived,
Oh,
the
that
new
looks cool.
Valaverse. Yeah. Then the new retailer wave from Four Horsemen, the new Marvel Legends wave with Zabu build a figure and some random characters in that line. And of course, you got some GI Joe pre-orders, and then Angel down here.
Yeah,
And
whoever
then,
designed that, they kudos to them. I first got into the website, and it was overwhelming at first. I just didn't see it coming, and then
yeah,
I actually paid attention to it. It's very nice, very easy to navigate right now. I like
yeah.
that a lot.
Ted did all the work on this version of it.
Oh, did
So
he?
yeah, he did a lot of work.
Now, unless he gives me a mug, fuck you, Ted.
That's not very nice, Rob.
I love Ted.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, this is a new site. So if anybody hasn't checked it out yet,
Yeah,
go
highly
over there.
recommend it. Great
Go over there,
guys
check it
to do
out.
business with. Great website.
Yep.
Very very personable and professional as well. So
Hell yeah. So, Rob, what
yes.
else is going on in your life? Taking any
Well,
pictures and stuff?
I've been taking pictures every chance I get ever since these two sons of bitches introduced me to a certain toy line. I've been obsessed with it. I was I was all I was all in on classified, and then I discovered Bobby Vala and decided I was all in on that. And then there was a lull where I started going back to Marvel Legends a little bit. And then you and Frank introduced me to Mezco, and I haven't looked back since.
Yep.
What a great line.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you were saying before. I've got four in hand right now, more coming down the pike, and oh god,
Now,
every everything that you get is so worth the money.
Yeah. Did your Superman come in one of the aluminum tin boxes, or was it in a regular? Yeah, nice.
The only one I have that's in metal is him. Everybody else came in, I guess the cardboard boxes with
Yeah,
sleeves.
cardboard boxes. The cardboard boxes are still really nice. I mean,
Oh
they
no,
got
the
some.
art is amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
The
would.
only I have my Gomez that's in the James Bond tuxedo set that was in the metal tin, and the tins are damn nice too, man.
Yeah, I mean, for the money that I spend, I would prefer them to be in the metal, all of them.
Yeah.
It's just even for like just I guess displaying of storage reasons. But even the cardboard boxes are really nice.
Yep.
When I'm done with these guys, I put them back into the boxes. They all snap in very easily.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing I like about them is like other than, some of the accessories that you could just leave right on the figure, they slide right into their little,
Yeah.
they're not like where you got to push them in so they're snapped in there or nothing. You
No,
just slide them in
it's
there.
all very nice. Like the
Yep.
when I opened up the Superman, I saw easy it came. I was very happy with that. And then the Batman was the first one I had that came without the metal tin. That was the second one I got. Oh no, he wasn't the second one. Constantine was the second one.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, it's basically the same format, just a different box style.
Yep.
I was very happy with it. It's very nice with the way they do things. It seems to be that they're very knowledgeable or considerate on how they should package things and keep them, I guess, accessible. So
Yeah, or Matthew, I don't want to call you Matt. Sorry about that. Matthew, one of the things Rob and I were talking about backstage before we came on was the one Batman that he's got coming that has the pleather suit, and that's one of the concerns you have is that pleather does
yeah,
break down.
once I
over
got
time.
Solomon Kane, I told you about that.
Yep.
That was a little nerve wracking. But I
Yeah.
know a few guys on Reddit have said that there's either a leather or a pleather treatment you can buy. And
Yeah,
just rub
you
it
can
on
get like
all three.
Armor All for your car, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
basically what you're
yeah.
using, right?
That apparently is supposed to help extend the
Yeah.
life of these the
Yeah.
material. So I got
That's like
looking
I got the Mezco Indiana Jones on pre-order that's coming out this summer.
Yeah, I
and
missed that.
that's my biggest
Oh.
concern, is the jacket, because the jacket is that pleather thing. So I'll be buying some Armor All and
Well, the Solomon, I just got it a week ago, and I can already see on the collar is a little bit appealing already.
Yep. Yeah. It doesn't
mean,
take long, dude, at all,
and
unfortunately.
I've only opened him up maybe 3 times.
Yeah. My plan
But
is I'll put the jacket on, for Indy, take a couple pictures at the Crick or whatever, He'll probably get a lot of photos taken without the coat. So it's just,
Yeah.
it'll be Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones or something, I guess. Cairo, Indiana Jones.
Worst case, there seems to be a huge community for this. You can always just find some kind of replacement for it. So I'm not terribly concerned about it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
There's
nothing they can do, right? I mean, all the 1/6 scale stuff that I used to collect, that was that pleather stuff, all breaks down over time too. There's just the nature.
I don't expect these guys to use like real genuine leather.
Right.
I know what I'll do to the price.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, I had a 1/6 scale Indiana Jones figure that had an actual real leather coat.
Yeah.
And you couldn't move it, right? Because it was so stiff.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
I
didn't think about that. It would definitely make them a lot stiffer to use.
So Matthew has not noticed anywhere in his Solomon Kane Crow or his Logan jacket yet.
Oh no, Matt, mine is very minimal. I only noticed it today.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is it where the collar's folded over?
Yeah, it's not a part I ever mess with. I'm assuming it's just
yeah. But Solomon, no, Solomon Kane isn't that long ago, so.
I'm assuming
What's up, Ted?
I just got a bad batch.
It's possible. I mean, it's one of those things. It is part of the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any Mezcos with leather yet, so that'll be my first when I get one. But
I look at it as like when you get a Spider-Man toy and you see the web lines are misprinted.
Yeah.
Or you happen to get the one figure that has 2 left hands instead of a left and a right. I'm not holding these guys liable for it. I'm not going to
it's going to happen,
BTS about it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it just means that from now on, I got to be careful whether I treat the pleather or not. I got to be careful with them. I took the coat off when I was doing my photos today, just so I didn't mess with it.
Yeah.
So, no big deal. I still love the figure. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm still going to stick with the line. Sorry, Bobby. So that's that.
So I was pretty surprised, I got to tell you, when you sent me the figures for the Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, you like them?
Yeah, I told Luke, I was like, yeah, Rob's sending us a few Lord of the Rings figures,
Yeah.
And then I got the box. I opened it up and I was like, remember those few figures from Lord of the Rings I told you Rob was sending us? He's like, yeah, it's like, you got to come over and check this out. So he came over like the next day. He's like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, I think we have all the figures from every movie. So
I'm almost positive that, with the exception of, I think, a handful of figures, that I believe that's every single figure that was made for that line. And I got those all from the CVS where I used to live. For some reason, they always had a surplus of them coming in. And there was a toy store near me called Amok Time.
oh yeah, I know Mock Time.
Well, they're still around, obviously.
Yeah.
But I used to shop there all the time. And they used to carry them and God knows what else. And I just found a bunch of toys in my storage room that I got from there as well.
Yeah. I bought a lot of stuff from them offline. They were one of the first toys
They're a great store.
online toy stores that I actually shopped from. So
they're great. When you come down before Joe Fest, if we have enough time, hopefully we will.
Yeah.
I'll bring you to them. They're an awesome group of people over there. I've been shopping there since I was 15 years old, on and off. I go there, a handful of times a year. That Fat Redu.
That's Fatrid. Fatrid.
I'm gonna call you Fat. Hello.
I just call him Foo because I like telling him F you. So
that works.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So I got the 12-inch Aragorn standing up with my couple of my 12-inch Joes, and I kept Treebeard on my shelf, and I got a couple other of the Hobbits on there. Luke took a set of the figures too. Then we got a few left over that we haven't decided what we're doing with them yet.
Listen, rock and roll with them, man. They were
for when they were made, right? 10 years ago, 12, 20 years ago, whatever it was. I mean,
almost 20.
Yeah, they're decent figures for when they were made, right?
Oh, they're awesome figures.
Yeah, they had some
when I was packing them up and I was cleaning them off. And aside from the face sculpts,
yeah,
it's a solid line.
Yeah.
Even
and
now,
you can definitely tell, like, the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship figures, right? When they got to Return of the King, the face sculpts were definitely better. They weren't great still, but they were better than the Fellowship.
You compare the Aragorns together, you can see a difference between every single one that I had. They were all great, and I believe the articulation was actually upgraded every time a new figure got released. So for instance, again, for every Aragorn that was released, there was another point that was added to him. Even the Gollum, I think he has the most articulation out of the entire.
That Gollum is crazy. He's articulated like a Spider-Man. Jeez. Yeah. So
he was a great figure when he came out.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got him, I put him on my dress. I'm like, how the hell do I pose this guy? I've never dealt with that before.
When those movies were out, I had all of the Sideshow Toys 12-inch Lord of the Rings figures. Those things were like masterpieces, dude. But once I started having more kids, I had to start selling off some of my collection because I had to make room. Options and choices I had to make. So
I can understand that.
So right now, out of all the 4 Mezcos you have, which one's your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough call. To be honest with you, I don't know, because they each fill their respective roles differently. I mean, like, this guy is fantastic, and my Screamo Black again.
No, you're good on my side.
He's great. I love everything about him. This is the first Mezco I've ever had, so this is my entry into the into the line, and it's a great figure to get if you're diving into something for the first time.
Yeah.
My only complaint would be that the head, I feel, comes off too easily, and I thought that that's going to be a problem with loosening, but I mean, it is.
Yeah, they're on there, dude. They're not coming off.
So he does great for basically what he's supposed to be.
Now he didn't come. You said he didn't come with flat hands for flying.
No, that was the Henry Cavill one I had.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That one didn't come with flying hands. This one comes with well, how well
Oh, that one
informed.
does come with flying hands.
Yeah,
Okay.
it comes
Yeah.
with two. Obviously, he comes with aside from he's got the fists on him. Then he's got another 4 sets of hands as well. There's
Yeah.
gripping, there's clenching, there's relaxed, and then there's the flat.
Yeah. All the Gomez's come with like, I want to say like 10 or 12 sets of hands.
I got to get a Gomez. I keep looking for them. They're all out of stock.
But I mean, they come with like peace signs, pointing fingers, middle
So they
fingers,
got some
and
of
stuff
these
like
too.
that. So
Yeah. I would love to get a Gomez. The next one that gets announced, I'll probably try and grab.
Yeah. The Gomez I want to get is the one that's coming out that they announced last year that comes with a motorcycle and then like the motorcycle jacket and all sorts of stuff. So
I might have to partake in that. I don't know. I probably will.
yeah.
Then there's I got this guy I happened to find for a great deal. The first Batman I got. I love the look of this. I loved the Gaslight story when I first read it, however many years ago it came out. Something about this particular look just screams.
Yeah. The one thing I really like about that whole character design is the cowl, the cowl.
Yeah. The cloak, the whole outfit. I mean, even
the whole outfit is cool, but I like on the
you look at the
cowl,
jacket, it's got the buttons.
It's actually
around.
like sewn together and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just an awesome look.
It's a great look altogether. They did a fantastic job grabbing this off the page and just bringing it to life.
Yeah. You haven't seen the cartoon yet, right? You still haven't been able to see it?
God forbid that's anywhere available to stream. This was a shot in the dark I got for cost, mind you.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the Reddit user that turned me on to him. But there was it was a website called Colors for Heroes or 4 Color Heroes, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I remember the one you sent me was that. Yeah.
They had him.
Now, he comes with cigars or something, right? Cigarettes or cigars or something. Does he?
Yeah, no, he comes with cigarettes. He comes with a bunch of them. Some lit, some just burnt out.
Yeah.
Great figure to have if you're into either just a plain looking body or you're a Constantine fan.
Yeah.
I unfortunately got the last one, but if you can hunt him down for a good price, he's highly recommended. And then same goes with this psychopath right here.
Solomon
BBTS happened to have him on for a pre-order, and somehow I got lucky. And I was talking to you about how I wanted him.
Yep.
And apparently my phone was listening, and they got him on stock. I grabbed him. He sold out right away.
He's got a great head sculpt too.
He's got what's cool about him is aside from the interchangeable heads, obviously, his hair is also interchangeable.
Oh, nice.
So depending on what you're looking to shoot or do with them, you can ascend. Oh, gotta get that on the right. You have more options, I guess, with the hair and face switching than you do with, I guess, just regular head swaps. So that's what I've got now. And I also had just to grab this.
Yeah.
This came today.
Vigilante.
So now Batman's allowed to have guns now because of that set, and he's got the lantern. But
as long as it's not tied to Batman.
Oh God, no, you can't mention him. DC doesn't like that.
Yeah, WB doesn't like that.
But it's a great set. I've got another one coming tomorrow. Looks very similar to this guy.
Nice.
My son's favorite Batman.
It's a good Batman.
Oh, and the other thing too, my kids wanted me. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Jackson. You'll see this in the morning.
Oh, got to say hi to them.
Oh, they were going nuts when they found out I was going to be on. You can be on TV, Daddy? Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, that's right.
You got the third Conan on pre-order, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I keep looking online to see if maybe there's a decent price. And
shit, dude, forget that, man.
I can't keep myself enough for this. I missed the boat so bad.
Yeah. When I saw the third one get announced, everybody's like, "Oh, I don't really like the King Conan look. I don't like the way he's not as good as the first two." I'm like, "Yeah, but I missed out on the first two, so I don't give a shit."
I think
I'll pick up a head or something maybe down the line.
That's what I'm thinking. If I can find heads I can swap around with, great. I mean, even the bearded Conan looks okay for me.
Not for sure.
The greatest look. The long-haired one seems fine with the beard. The bob cut with the beard looks a little.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I've got him on pre-order from I got him off of Ted and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And then today I got the Superman recovery suit.
Yeah.
# mullet for Superman. I'm looking forward to actually swapping the heads with this guy because I guarantee they're interchangeable. So I can get that nice
So some of the
1995 look.
some of the Mezco heads are different, right? So like
I'll guarantee it's the same body. Maybe they don't have the magnets in the chest, but I'll
yeah.
guarantee it's the same body.
So like this most of the Gomez's are like this, right?
Yeah,
Just
every other figure aside from my Superman, I believe, is the same way. Actually,
and then this was Death Brigade Skull Brigade Death Dealer.
that's what you told me about today. Yeah.
His head actually pops out like that. So the
Oh, so
neck post
he doesn't have a separate neck.
no, his neck post is part of the head. So
See, how does that work with articulation though?
it works pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have
I
as
would feel
much
like it's
articulation.
limited when you wanted to move them around.
It is limited compared to like the way this is set up because this is articulated at top and bottom of the neck, you know. So
Yeah.
but I mean it's good enough for what I use it for. So of course, and this is my favorite part of Gomez.
That's so good. That was another thing too. Like I got the light up eyes for the Superman. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
The switch is a bit of a pain in the ass, but they give you a little. It's like a little hook key.
Yeah, that one's got a button on the back of the head. The only problem is with that, the only thing I don't like is you can't push it in and leave it turned on, right? It's just to push it in. So like I can't push it in, take a picture without my hand in there, you know? So it's like,
oh, that sucks.
yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Do better, Mezco.
And then these guys are my favorite because they have the boot knife in their shoe.
I've seen. Yeah, it's right. That was in the video you guys sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell me that's not James Bond shit right there.
It's a nice little concept because I mean, they're sharp as shit though, dude. They'll poke the shit out of your fingers.
That's cool. Look, dude, freaking, I got the between Solomon's cane and like the batarangs I got. I was taking a few shots today, and I figured I might as well put the knives in Batman's belt. They got some pretty pretty tight, sharp little ends on them.
Yeah, they're a little pokey, pokey. But yeah, I got this Death Dealer, dude, and then I put that. This is just the plain head for Two-Face when he's just Harvey Dent before he actually becomes Two-Face.
Dude, that's great for like a little mobbing boss or
yeah, that's what he is. He's just a mob boss character.
That looks good.
Just a hitman. I'm gonna replace the tie, so it's not the neon green. I'm trying to find like a red one or something for him, or I'll make one.
I'm sure eBay has something for that.
Yeah, I'll make one if I have to. It's just a piece of material stuck on there. So
I want to try and grab about 3 suits and regular bodies. I really want to try and create that Action Comics one cover. I got the Batmobile for it. If I can get a handful of bodies for it, I feel like I can pull it off pretty well.
Yeah, I like their TMNT, and they have a Ghostbusters set too. That's pretty damn nice.
I saw.
Yeah, Matthew just said it. Try to get the
Ghostbusters. Walker on Instagram posted the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, those figures are gorgeous, dude.
It was very tempting to get, just that the price was a little high. Same thing with the Turtles.
I mean, if you think about it, like with the Turtles and with that, right? They're $400 for the set, which is basically $100 a figure, but you got to buy them all at once, you know.
That's
it's
like the problem with it. It was like anytime they put out a box, like they did the Rumble Society with the 3 skulls.
Yep.
It was a high price, but again, when you break it down per figure, the price isn't terrible, but it's still, you're taking that big hit on it.
Yep.
It's one thing if you buy one at a time, it's spread out. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. I was looking at the Ghostbusters and like if I could get these, you know, one figure every month or whatever at $100 a pop, I would do it, right? But it's like I know by the time I saved up the $400 to get it, it's going to be gone. So
it's
I'll just leave that one off by itself and
it's a very hard purchase to make.
Yeah, go after some Gomez's or something. But yeah, the nice thing I like with the Rumble Society, almost all the heads interswap. So like I take this Skull Brigade, which is the like these are the guys that hunt Gomez, right? Battle Gomez.
Oh, is that what they're supposed to be?
Yeah, Gomez's nemesis. But I put Gomez's head on this all the time and just use him as like a commando Gomez because he's just a black commando
like
sweater.
Secret Agent Gomez or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Or else I had Gomez kick his ass, like in that video I sent you. That video will be debuting, but that's for a project Largo's working on too. So that will come out.
You guys are gonna like that video that he's working on. It's it takes a turn that I was not expecting at all when I saw it.
Luke and I are talking about doing a second one once that one debuts of actually like a 15-minute like a 15-minute video
Oh, please do.
of what transpires in that movie, sort of, you know. But
That'd be great.
yeah, we're trying to
Listen, I
get
was
that
expecting
started
a
and get
little
it done.
3-second clip, and I saw it like this is a roller coaster of emotion over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw Mezco Space Ghost.
They have a
Usually,
Space Ghost?
yeah, they usually go for like a few $100, like 200 to 300. And I saw one on eBay. It was like $135, but you know, I'm still trying to get my fucking coin together for
That's
regular
cool.
life shit. So if it's still around at that point, I'm definitely going to get Space Ghost because he's one of my favorite
That'd be an awesome
superhero cartoon
I just
characters.
saw the I think it was yesterday I found that they did the Red Sun Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I love that story.
Yeah.
And like if they did like the more characters from that, like if they did the Red Sun Batman,
Yeah.
he was a sadistic son of a bitch.
Yeah. Their Dr. Fate is really nice looking.
Yep.
And I saw somebody. What's that other Batman? They did a Batman for Mezco, the other Batman that's got like the gray suit, but he's got like the thigh holsters and all that stuff. What the hell?
Oh, like
Batman?
the Dark Knight Returns?
Is it
The
Dark
Frank
Knight?
Miller one?
Yeah, I think it's that one. So
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that look.
what's up, Mr. Wonderful? Yeah, I prefer my Batman. I love Batman, but I'm a serious traditionalist with my Batman, right? I like the gray suit with the blue, and and really I like the black on his cowl, but
Yeah, I do like that black, like the outline on the mask.
Yeah.
I'm pretty open to my Batman looks, but there are certain ones there's certain ones that seem to lean too much to the, I guess, the outside of my disbelief.
Yeah.
Like again, like the Frank Miller look is a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's good looking, and listen, if you like it, great.
Yep.
No,
I never liked that comic book art that Frank Miller did for Batman either.
He just seems very blocky and sloppy.
Yeah, it's just not my thing, right?
No.
Like I like Batman. I think he should be buff and kind of spry, right? Like,
I feel slick.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Like just like a little lean. Like prime example is, I think Christian Bale was too small. Right, even with the armor he had on, he's just too small of a look.
Yeah,
worked for the movies, great. Not my Batman. Ben Affleck was great. He was built to be a monster for that. I guess the supernatural world he was created into.
Yep.
But you get a little smaller than him, and that would probably be ideal for me. Like whatever James Gunn's going to do next for like his Batman, hopefully he does something within that realm. But I think Ben Affleck.
I really liked
body-wise.
I was really surprised with that one, with the most recent one, just the Batman, right? Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. I mean, yeah, it's I like the fact that like the villains were more like real life based, as opposed to these, fantastical, villains.
Well, I don't mind the fantastical. Again, you're talking comic book characters. I mean, if you expect everything to be grounded, you're a schmuck and you're in for a bad time.
Yeah, I what I'm saying is I like the concept of it, as opposed to like it was just so much of a different.
It was done very well. It reminded me almost of Seven, to be honest with you.
Look at this guy. Batman as a villain should be more slithering like the snake that he is. Listen to this guy.
Listen, he's not. Listen, the guy sits in a dark cave with a kid wearing hot pants. I'm not gonna say anything past that. Yeah. But he might be a pedophile. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you guys in your Batman hate, just keep it to yourselves. That's it.
Saying.
Rob's gone. Everybody say goodnight, Rob.
Bye. That's what happened. No, but like the
like I don't know what it is. Like I have a lot of good friends, right? Like you're a big Superman fan. One of my best friends, Jason, he's like a huge Superman fan, like diehard. Like he's got the shield tattooed on like his entire back, right? He's just a huge fan, right? Travis is always busting my balls about how Batman is a villain and set his parents up for murder and all this shit. So it's like I got to find new friends. That's all there is.
I could see it. I'm not saying he's right. I could see it again. Dark cave, 10-year-old kid wearing Daisy Dukes.
Hey, I look at it this way, right? He was smart. He said, "Hey, kid, we're going to go fight crime." And the kid's like, "Hell yeah." And he's like, "You're going to be my bullet catcher.
Wear the
Wear the
highest
brightest,
shorts you can find. I
right,
want to see them cheeks.
right. Wear the
Yes, very
shortest
smart.
shorts and the brightest colors so that everybody goes after you. I'm going to stand over here in the shadows. See how that works? It's a perfect setup."
You got a boo boo? Take your clothes off. Let me look at it.
Uh,
Yeah, very smart. Um, hey, look at that. See that? Hey. Oh, I just read the
Listen
rest
to
of that
this guy.
comment. Oh boy. Oh, he
Well, I
might
guess
not be
Travis isn't going to be my new weekly host either. So
He
Travis and
might
Rob are
not
both
be
gone.
wrong.
Who in the comments section likes Batman that I could bring on this show? Because these guys are just killing me.
Listen,
Fucking Christ.
you look at it like this. Look at it like this. Without this, there would be no this. And you don't see this hanging out with hot pants, do you?
No, he has his own hot pants.
Listen. His son is the closest you can get to hot pants. The kid wore jeans, then he grew up and wears the same spandex his dad has.
Yep. And in the comic books, he had a transgendered lover, and his dad was okay with that. So
I know not what you're talking about. That never happened.
So I don't know what you're saying. I mean, maybe he lived with Batman too long.
You're making up lies. You are fake news. We should.
Uh,
This is going to become the Robbie show.
Thank you, Matthew. Knock off a Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. Now that's a good cartoon right there. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
That's a great show. Nega Duck was the best.
Yeah. Those Disney shows back in the day, like Darkwing Duck and DuckTales and
Dude, they still hold up.
Yeah, Tailspin and Rescue Rangers. Man, I love those shows.
They still
like
my kids now are. My daughter's 5.5 now. My son is about to turn 3. They watch those every now and then. If I can get them to calm down enough and pay attention to the TV for 2 seconds, they'll watch them and they just
what great shows, you know, it's like those were like awesome for Disney to do, right? It was just great shows.
That was back in the day where like you'd wake up every day and you had just these great shows, whether before school or after school, but still.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the heyday of cartoon making.
Oh yeah, dude. I love those cartoons from back in the day. Everybody's talking about Darkwing Duck now.
How do you not know Darkwing Duck? Educate yourself.
Fat Red Foo. I am ashamed.
That's disgusting. I'm embarrassed to have you on my stream.
I'm embarrassed to call him my friend now. Jeez.
Should we get personal? No.
Let's see. Let me bring up a picture. Maybe it'll jog his memory.
Basically, picture like Donald Duck or Scrooge McDuck in a Batman type outfit, but he's wearing a giant fedora instead of the ears. That is actually, you know what? This with the fedora.
Right here. Look at this. There he is.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
There you go.
I mean, you can't beat Darkwing Duck. Absolutely awesome.
Great show. I think also I had watched it a few months ago for trying to get the kids into it. The first episode, I believe, wasn't even an origin story. It was with the oh god, what was it? I think it was Bushroot was the name. The plant villain. That was the origin story of how he became Bushroot. That was the first episode of the series.
Yeah, Gizmo was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Gizmo was awesome too.
He was the shit. That was like the DuckTales version of Iron Man.
Yep. They did some cool stuff back then, right? I mean, like
they were adventurous, yeah.
None of us even really realized it when we were watching like the Rescue Rangers that, you know, the one guy was dressed like Magnum PI and the other guy was, you know, dressed sort of like Indiana
Oh my
Jones.
God, he was.
Right? So it was like Indiana Jones and Magnum PI adventuring
yeah, Chip was
together.
Indiana, Dale was Magnum.
Yeah.
Oh my God. 40 years old and just learning that.
You mean the original Iron Man? No, don't take Travis, too seriously. I mean, the guy did think that Star Wars was a spinoff of Spaceballs, and he legitimately thought Star Wars was a spinoff of Spaceballs. That wasn't even like,
Wait, he's serious?
yes, he's serious.
Travis, God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir.
See, he's still convinced that it was.
Listen, and maybe in an alternate reality,
It probably wasn't an alternate reality. Maybe George Lucas was having like some kind of lunch with Mel Brooks at one point in time. Mel pitched this idea, then Lucas went home and was like, I got to get this movie out before he does. It's very possible, right? Very possible.
You never know.
So. Yeah, I watch I watch as many cartoons as I possibly can. I watch on YouTube. There's this channel. It's called Group Therapy Podcast, and every Saturday morning they do a Saturday morning serials. Like Saturday morning cereal, but it's called Saturday morning serials, and it's literally like 4 hours of nothing but like 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s cartoons.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like Centurions and
that was a great show.
Josie and the Pussycats and Space Ghost and Thundar and all
Space
those.
Ghost. Thundar was amazing. That was a heavy part of my childhood.
Yeah. Funny, Thundar only lasted one season, but everybody watched it so much over and over and over again. Yeah. It was a super short-lived series.
I didn't know that. I remember I had a VHS when I was a kid. That had one episode on it. I couldn't tell you what it was about, but I remember I used to watch it religiously until the point where the tape just wound up getting eaten by the VCR. Yep. That was a great show. I used to love that. Thundercats.
I had a DVD set that was like, there was two of them. One was cartoons of the 80s and one was cartoon of the 70s, right? And it was all mostly Hanna-Barbera, Looney Tunes, kind of stuff like that.
Well, that was their era, was the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. But Luke, when he was little, watched them so much on DVD that like, and they're so scratched now you can't even watch them just from him, popping them out of the DVD player as a kid, right? It's like, but I don't care. He enjoyed them. I mean, that kid loves him, and I used to sit down and watch Brave Star like hours at a time, just watch Brave Star.
I remember I went to a store with my mother. I must have been maybe 5, maybe 6. So you're talking 1988, and I saw a Brave Star toy on the shelf, and I probably had like 5 or 6 of the same character over and over again, and I remember throwing a fit because she wouldn't let me get it.
How old were you in 1988?
Back window. I want Brave Star. I want Brave Star.
I was starting my freshman year of high school in 1988. I'd just like you to know that.
Shit, way to age yourself, buddy.
Yeah, right. I don't act my age, so it's okay.
There you go. I compete with my kids.
I tell Darklaw all the time, man. Act young, feel young. That's all it is to it, right?
Oh, I wish I could partake in that.
That's right. The abuse hurts sometimes, but it's all good. Yeah, I went for that walk yesterday in the woods. It was like the first time I actually took a decent hike, since it's been winter,
Yeah, I mean.
Man, I got out of the woods. I was like, whoo, I'm actually fucking tired from going up and down these fucking hills.
Yeah, we had like a nice 70-degree day.
Yeah, it was gorgeous out yesterday.
On, God, when the hell was that? Sunday, I think. And then all of a sudden it hit like 50 degrees the next day. That was it.
We had, what's today? Tuesday. So Sunday was like 50 something and pretty decent out. But then yesterday I got up to like almost 70 degrees. I mean, it was gorgeous, beautiful sunshine. So I was like, I got out of work at 4. I flew home, threw on my boots, grabbed my AWOC figure that I took those pictures of, headed down to the Crick, man. I was like, I'm hitting the Crick.
Speaking of AWOC, excuse me, did you see the Kickstarter they just did today?
Yeah. Some of those figures are nice, man.
That line is very tempting.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I put a wash on that one the custom one I did. Mm-hmm. Like you put a wash on those figures, man, they pop. Like they have such a cartoon like paint to them, like standard, right? It's very bright, very, you know. I mean, that's the way the line's designed to be, right? It's very bright, very like toyetic, right?
It seems very like we were saying before, like very cartoon
Yeah, it's toyetic, right? Whereas like, Mythic Legions and some of those other ones are very gritty.
Yeah.
So I put a wash on him, man. He looks so much better with the wash on him.
Well, you get all that detail out of it by doing
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Their fur and everything is gorgeously sculpted. So
it.
it's
Mhm.
just a matter of bringing that out, and man, they pop.
Yeah, Spiro, I don't know what factory they chose, but they did a great job with designing them, and
Yep.
whoever's actually sitting there pressing the plastic and everything,
Yeah.
excellent choice in that factory, because the two that I bought, they were very, very highly detailed, very well painted,
Oh yeah.
solid figures.
Yeah.
So
And like Lawrence is always saying, punk with toys, right? Like you could hand that to your son, right? Or a kid.
mhm.
And as long as they don't have the weapons, right? Because the weapons definitely are sharp. But like
Yeah.
you can hand that to your kid and he's not coming back in 5 minutes that the arm or the leg broke off, right?
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
Like you give a kid a classified or even a Mezco, right? They're coming back 5 seconds later. This is
I
broken,
would
Dad.
say
Fix it.
Classified is coming back, probably broken. Balaverse definitely broken.
Yep.
Mezco, something is absolutely going to be broken off. Spiro, odds are, worst case, you're looking at maybe some paint chipping or some scuffing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Maybe a
mean,
joint
it's
bent a
not
little.
online for me,
Maybe
but I would say they're definitely solid. I will speak for them 100%, praise them as much as need be. I only got two, but they're very solid and very very play friendly.
Yep.
As far as assembling quality goes.
Kids these days don't know enough to keep those sharp objects out of their eyeballs
They're,
and
they're,
stuff,
they're
right?
iPod forward.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yep.
I got my bot refreshing every few minutes. Smart move. Send me the line if you get them.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to get the fox. I really like the way the fox looks, and I like the way the rabbit looks.
I don't remember the
Those
fox.
are
The rabbit reminded me of a little bit of Bucky O'Hare.
Yep. He has that Bucky O'Hare look to him.
Not green, but
Yep. I want to get him. I want to get the fox, and then one of the lizards for sure. Those are the three on that Kickstarter that I'm really
you have
after.
to get the line just so I can play with it next time I
Oh
come up.
yeah, I'll get some of them. I'm not going to get all of them, but
that line is everything I wanted it. Like the
big lion you're talking about. Yeah,
the line
yeah.
that I gave you.
Yeah,
I forgot what his name was, but the line that they're coming out with is everything I wanted it to be. It's just,
you gave me a Treyu, which is the original line.
Yeah, Atreyu, that's it.
Yeah.
The new one they have coming out is he's just a beefy, birdie looking son of a bitch.
He was at PowerCon last year. They had a paint sample of him at PowerCon,
Okay.
and he looks gorgeous, dude. Big and
So
buff.
That's what you imagine a lion to be.
Yep.
Even with a tiger too.
Yep.
Excuse me. That lion.
Yeah, the tiger and the lion definitely needed some. I mean, maybe not even as much as that new lion they're coming out with, but they definitely needed some more mass to them. You know what I mean? Like
it was. I figured it was more around here. They just look small.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
I felt like the shoulders needed to be bigger. The traps maybe they felt too small as far as the upper torso body half goes.
So, as Brick says, the new lion is Atreyu's dad.
Does he have a name, Brick?
I think he does. I can't remember what he's called though.
Big beefy bastard. That's his name.
Yeah.
Triple B.
Big badass lion.
That's enough whiskey for me. I'm getting silly. Sick of the lemonade.
So the one thing I gotta say about like these Mezcos, dude, is like the thing that really, I mean, I love the way the articulation is on them, but like just little details, like this dude's got a gold watch on, dude.
Does he?
Yeah. How cool is that, right? I think he's
That's
got a
cool.
gold watch on.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this guy's got the boot knife too.
Yeah, that's a cool little like agent thing.
Yeah.
Now, aside from like the leather thing, I would say the foot articulation is probably the only big complaint I really have with them. It just like, for instance, I mean, I'm sure for Constantine it makes sense because of the way the boot he's wearing. So I actually shouldn't really use him.
A lot of their figures are set that way though, like not just Constantine. Like
I'm seeing that.
This Gomez has like almost like the old style dress shoes that are more like boots on. You can't really see it because of the way it is. And then even the regular Gomez's have Chuck Taylors on, so that articulation is the same.
Yeah, it's like Constantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like with the Superman I have is I'm granted there's articulation that you can
Yeah, you
use on.
definitely can't take Superman and like put him in a full flying pose with his legs, his feet completely back, right? For sure.
That's the biggest complaint I have with it. And granted, it's very well done as it is, but not that I'm going to mod this guy because I love him the way he is. But if the back of this was a little lower,
Yep.
you'll probably get to that point.
Yeah.
But
might be something to look into, like down the road, buying like, because you can buy like the boots offline, right? For Mezco on eBay, secondhand, right? Just the boots.
yeah,
Maybe buying a second pair and modding them, right? If you can find them for a cheap price, right?
I saw it. I think it was today for maybe like $40. The first or second Conan that Mezco did was on there for $42, maybe, but it was just the body, no boots,
just
no
the body,
head,
yeah,
no hands.
Yep,
and it was very
hands. Yeah, I saw that too.
I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah, he is. That body, I think, has literally been on that on eBay from that seller for probably, I want to say, a good year. Now, I don't know if he's selling more of them or if it's the same exact body, but that listing has literally been up for about a year because I started watching it probably over a year ago. And then they announced the second one, so I just stopped watching it. Or the third one.
They put out 3 Conans out, not counting the extension that they did with the heads, but
the Barbarian head pack. Yeah, they got the third.
The King is the third one, right?
Yeah, the King coming out is the third one. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
What are they gonna do? I don't know if they can do more after this. This might be the last one, I would think.
I think it's gonna be the last one. But there's a couple. That's why I want to get a couple of those like Savage Crucible figures, like the lizard guys and stuff, just to have Conan fight them. But I'll probably have him in the Crick fighting my War Bear too. So.
Oh, the Crick! I missed the Crick.
Yeah.
I was there once for an hour, and it was fantastic. She hates the parents.
We were there longer than an hour, weren't we?
Oh well. Again, I've drank a little bit, so you can't really take what I say for gospel.
Well, we went there twice though, right? Didn't we go? We went for quite a while the first day. Then the second day, we only went back there for a couple, like maybe an hour.
Did we go a second time?
Yeah, I think we went a second time.
I
can't really remember. I can't really remember. So
I remember being once and walking back. The frog took a dump in my hand. Then we went to the second location.
Oh, that's right. We went to the second location the same day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
As far as I know, it was just the one time.
Yeah, because we went. We went for a while that day because we went to the main place that I go. Mm-hmm. We were there for quite a while.
Yeah, with the split stone.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice altar.
Yeah. And then the next, then we walked and went down to the other spot.
And then we get yelled up on my wife because you went into the woods by yourself.
Yeah. The second spot is where I went to yesterday to take those pictures because I know, like in the spring, it's got a lot more like waterfalls and stuff in that. Like, like just not, there's little waterfalls, but.
Well, I recognize it. I was wondering, I was like, is that where we were before? And I saw the background and where the mud wall was and everything. And FU, yes, we do collaborations together. When we get a chance, I'll just tag him something I think is up his alley and vice versa as well. So
we do AFT3 Productions. So we collaborate. Last year we did a bunch of stories together. He'd do one part, I'd do the next part. We got to do that again, dude. We got to get that back going this year.
I think it was after we established our friendship, we went heavy into a little monster storyline we did.
Yep.
And then Monster Force got announced right after we wrapped that up, right?
No, it got announced. That's what started it.
Was that
remember we saw the first like couple announcements for that, and we were like, dude, that is so freaking cool. And then we were like, let's do our own monster story. So then but we did a shit ton of that monster story.
That went on for a good couple of weeks, maybe like 6 weeks or so.
At least 6 to 8 weeks for sure. Yeah,
that was a long one. That might have been actually right. That was right after we actually got friendly with each other, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Before we met each other.
Yeah, for sure. Because we started with the Golden Knights. Yep. with the Steel Brigade Golden Knights.
Yep.
And we did those. We did what, maybe 7 or 8 of those, something like that.
It's got to be
And
more than that, I would think. It's got
maybe no, I think we got up to 10, right?
10?
Yeah, I think we got up to 10.
One of us made a 10th one. I don't know if it was you
It
or
was
me.
you. You made 10 because you had 6 and I had 4 of them. But you did 2 girls. You did 2 female ones, and I only did the one.
Did I do 2 of them?
Yeah, you did 2 females.
Well, you can't have a sausage fest, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I did the one, and then after that, we were like, then Monster Force got announced. We were like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then we were like, and we went into the whole
I was
Monster
looking
story.
today at the pre-orders I have for Monster Force. I'm very excited for them.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, half of them come out like at the ass end of the year. So
yeah,
waiting for them.
Fresh Monkey Fiction's running late anyway, so it's a good thing because like they were supposed to be out now. I wouldn't have been able to get them, so I'm happy they got delayed.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm not complaining about the delays right now.
Yeah,
you guys take as long as you need.
That's right. They're still going to be there. I'm still going to get them. That's my Mezco and Monster Force are my 2 lines for this year, with a couple of pickups here and there that are
there's a lot of cool stuff right now. I've pretty much left G.I. Joe in the rearview mirror, with the exception of maybe if they put out anything really worth getting, and excuse me, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but maybe I'll pick up 1 or 2 things aside from like Mutton Junkyard. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I'm willing to get.
Yeah. You got Mutton Junkyard, right? You got you got him. Yeah, he's a great figure. I got him. He was one of my favorites as a kid. I really can't wait to get the Vamp. And then they announced the Cobra Ferret, right? The 4-wheeler looks cool. That'd be a cool add-on. They announced the Ferret the other day in their G.I. Joe PulseCon stream.
Okay, I didn't watch that.
Hasbro Pulse. That was announced. I didn't watch it either. I just saw it on Lawrence's show. But it comes with like a driver, but I don't give a shit about the driver. I just want the 4-wheeler, right? Because the 4-wheeler would be a cool add-on. I'm going to use my Vamp for the Monster Force. And then they're releasing Dial Tone. And Dial Tone was one of my favorites as a kid, too. He was a communications expert.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember the 3 3/4 inch one.
He had like the green shirt with like tan pants and a beret, green beret, but it wasn't a green beret. I think it was a black
I probably have to see him to honestly remember.
But yeah. So other than that, and that the 4-wheeler is like one of those things, if I saw it like, at a decent price, I'd pick it up. But if it's like $75, it can stay right there on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't even give a shit about that. Like I can't remember his name, but the one came out with the rocket turrets. I think it came out
Scrap Iron.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was probably the last G.I. Joe I really felt like grabbing, just because I felt like it would go well with the His Tank.
Yep.
And I haven't shot shit with the His Tank since I first got it. So
yeah.
Good job on me.
Did you end up selling the His Tank figures that came with it?
Yes. There was some guy that I had it at memories aside. Say I had it at $200. Say he offered me $175.
Yeah.
It was up for a while. So yeah, sure, why not? I'll take the hit on that. It was on $25. It wasn't a big hit I took. So he bought them right away. I sold them, shipped them out the next day.
Good. So
yeah, they were. I sold them going for a good amount of money. I sold them for a lot more than I thought I would get. I know that much.
Right. Yep.
And seller gave me 5 stars for it. So
recoup some of your money from the Hiss and put it to other things.
Yeah, tells me I did good.
Yep. Perfect, dude. That
I'm happy with the Hiss thing. My son seems to be obsessed with it right now.
Yeah.
Every time he goes downstairs to the den we have, he goes, "Daddy, that's a tank." Yes, Jackson, that's my tank. I play with it. The hell you are.
No, you can look at it. We'll turn the lights on for you, but don't touch.
Yeah, he doesn't do the little Cobra symbol that pops out from the projector in the front. He loves that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he loves that part.
Yeah, it's funny because like I remember as a kid, right? The Joe Toys, when the first couple of vehicles they made, they were built like, like brick shit houses, right? And I remember I had the APC. You remember the APC? It was like the 6-wheeler. You could put like all the figures in the back.
To be honest with you, I had everything.
It had like the canvas top, and my grandparents lived at this lake, and in the center of the area where the lake was, they had like a park, you know,
Mhm.
and it had a huge old metal slide, you know, the kind you burned your fucking ass on because it was so
Yeah.
scalding hot in the
I
sunshine.
remember those things.
And we used to roll that fucking APC down that slide, right? And just see it crash. And we loaded up with figures. So when it hit the bottom, you know, the figures just all blow up. That thing never broke, ever. It was like,
They were made to last back then.
yeah.
I remember like every Christmas, I would get just a bundle of GI Joe toys. Like that was what my parents got me every year, or
Yep.
Santa. But I would wake up in the morning, rip up my boxes, and there would just be a pile of GI Joe. I go to sleep. Next morning, wake up the day after Christmas, and my mother would have had everything assembled, stickers put together, missiles in place, or guns plugged in where they're supposed to be, and it was just those things were built to take a beating back then.
Yeah.
There was no cheap plastic like there is nowadays, or or QC issues really.
I mean, if there was, we didn't know it, right? I mean, it was just like,
If there was, you might be missing a sticker.
yeah.
Or
And
worst
wasn't
case,
QC
you would
issue
send it
most
back
of
to
the
the store,
time,
they
I
would
think.
get the new one where it actually had everything in it.
Yeah. I think our dads fixed more of our toys back then. And you know,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I would go to my mother. I'm like, I can't get him to stand up. She would take the little platform that came with him, plug him in. Here he's standing. Go away. I'm tired now. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. My uncle, I remember my uncle, his son is my cousin, of course. That makes sense, right? But he's the same age as me.
Mhm.
And he had like, even back then in like 1982, you know, we were both like 9 years old, just at that age where it's like, you're still, you know, we played with toys till we were 12 back in the day, right? It's not like today where the kids are all asked to grow up so damn fast. And I remember even back then, he had like this method for fixing like the Joe's broken thumbs, you know.
I remember that problem.
We had a cousin that's 4 years younger than me, and he'd play, you know, he's always breaking off his thumbs. And my other cousin's dad was like, all right, give it to me. He'd heat it up in like a boiling pot of water and do some kind of like voodoo magic shit and have the thumb back on, just like brand new. We were like, damn. You know,
Dude, I remember bringing my Joes into the tub with me, and I would drop them on the tub. It's the shallow end of the tub.
Yeah.
Noses would break off, crotches would snap off, thumbs would
Yep.
snap off. Most of them looked like they went a few rounds with Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was the biggest problem with them, was that especially when you would put the weapons in the hands. I remember all the stress fractures you would see. I mean, granted, as a kid, you wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But most of the Joes were missing, you know, they're walking around like this as opposed to having a thumb on.
It's like my aunt, she bought my grandparents' house, and my grandparents had this huge porch on the back of their house. And that's where we had like all of our summertime birthday parties and things like that, right?
Mhm.
And my two cousins, their birthdays were always in the summer. So like all summer long, it was just, you know, action figures and GI Joes, and you know, it was a boarded porch, so it's like, of course, you know, there's space between the boards. I couldn't tell you how many guns slid down in between those fucking boards, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, my aunt says she sends out this big invitation and invites people over, and she had put a new porch on the back of the house. Didn't tell anybody, right? Because that's like, we still go over there for birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah.
That was like a thing she did for the family. And I was like, damn, you should have told me when the fucking thing was ripped up. I would have come over here and sifted through all the dirt, found all the Joe guns.
Gold mine back there.
Right? I mean, there's probably guns in there that were worth money now because everybody lost them.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like shit. She's like, I don't know. She scooped it all down. You know, they came in with the roller and flattened it all out and everything else. Damn,
it's probably something that is buried under
layers
of dirt.
My uncles, they were at the age where they played with like the 12-inch GI Joes, you know. And at my grandparents' house, when I was probably like 14 or 15, I helped my grandfather remodel the staircase because it had like that old fake brick like paneling, you know, instead of like wood paneling, you know, it had like looked like bricks, right? And of course, as a kid, I thought it was cool as shit, right? Because those textured, you know, you climb up there with your action figures and shit, right? So, but I found out when my uncles were younger, they never finished that wall all the way up to the top. So they would play with their Joes. And when we ripped that wall out, we found like 3 or 4 actual Joe guns and weapons and shit that were falling down in there.
In there?
Yeah, they were in the wall, inside the wall. It was an interior wall, so there was no insulation or nothing. It was just an open space, you know. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, but my uncle, he still collects his vintage GI Joes, so he has a bunch of them still. So
That's a big the big community still nowadays.
oh yeah, yep, for sure. We'll see a bunch of them at Joe Fest. That Joe
Awesome.
Fest actually used to be mostly 12-inch GI Joes, but now it's more 3 3/4 and modern stuff. So
I would imagine most conventions nowadays kind of open up a lot more to the 6-inch scale
oh,
thing.
for sure,
That's
yeah,
the popular line to go for nowadays.
yeah. When I went to Joe Lanta, shit, that had to be like 2012, 2013 now. Shit, that was a long time ago. I mean, they used to have like the Dio contest, right? For 12-inch, 1/6 scale Dio contest, right? And these guys had like these huge friggin' Dios. This one guy, um, the last one I ever saw, it wasn't at the one I was at, but you remember World War Z? I think it was World War Z, right? That was the one with Brad
The
Pitt, the
zombie
zombie
book
one.
slash movie.
So this guy took a 1/6 scale Ultimate Soldier Little Bird helicopter, right? And for his dio, and he made this huge, it was probably like 8 foot tall mound of figures that were zombies that were piled up to grab onto like the helicopter, and they were pulling the helicopter down.
Really?
Yeah, it was so badass, dude.
That's got it. God
Yeah.
damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. He had like he was buying, like cheap, $5 1/6 scale
Oh,
figures and
still
shit,
though,
right? Yeah.
that's a lot of work.
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
it was huge. There were tons of
It
figures.
must have been huge.
I can't remember how many figures they said that was in that, but he won the contest that year, for the Dio contest.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible, dude. But like these dials were huge and they were just gorgeous, So
Well, for that scale, it got to be like even the
yeah.
the pyramid tomb you have.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yep.
for a 1/6 scale. That's a very hefty boy.
Yeah. Imagine having like a whole fucking like real dial setup, right? That's like one chamber of a tomb.
You need a bedroom for that
Oh yeah, for sure.
easily.
For sure. Yeah. So I laugh, like I'm building this 1/18th dial for Eagle Force, and it's like the whole play set in 1/18 scale could fit inside that 1/6 scale
I'm sure.
dial. That's one room, right? It's like, wow. I didn't see that. I don't know what he didn't see. Oh, maybe this. Brutal Realm is asking for feedback on scale preferences.
Is asking for feedback on scale preferences. It's Super Tuesday. Use your voice, homie.
Use your voice, homie.
Well,
so
I don't know what he's referring to.
Brutal Realm it's a Kickstarter. Those figures
that,
are looking badass too.
On which?
What's that?
What Kickstarter?
Say? Brutal Realm.
I was asking about the dio you were making for the I think it was the Valiverse Roadway thing. Then you started talking about a Kickstarter that I missed.
I was talking about the Eagle Force dio. And then
after that.
I don't remember. But then they were talking about, we were asking what Travis missed. He was talking about this Brutal Realm Kickstarter. Have you seen the Brutal Realm yet?
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
It's the first I'm hearing of it.
Hold on a second. I'll bring it up. It is freaking awesome. All right, hold on. Let me figure out how to share my screen again. So yeah, this is the Brutal Realms Kickstarter. Like some really serious.
He's cool looking.
Yeah, like this is how they scale with Marvel Legends.
They're beefy.
Yeah, beefy guys. I really like this guy. This guy is really badass looking. So they're asking about the scale. I wonder if they're talking about like 6 or 7 inch, because these guys would be worthless in 4 inch for sure. You wouldn't see any of the detail that they're sculpting in.
I fucking hate 7-inch, man. Oh, I like him.
Yeah. The Indian dude.
Great.
Yeah, and then they got the old rifle stock weapon that they made.
Yeah, I love that. That rifle tomahawk is very bone tomahawk.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great movie. This guy's pretty cool. He's got like some feathered arrow. kind
That's
of
interesting. I like that look.
yeah. He's got like the Oriental Asian inspiration.
I'm getting
They
like
got a
very
bunch of like
Mongol.
inspired stuff, right? Like this guy
That's
is
Skeletor?
yeah, I don't
How
know
shit
what this
it
guy is
is.
supposed to be, but he looks like Skeletor for sure.
That's
Because
cool.
this is a close up of his head down here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That almost looks like
Here,
Skeleton Warriors.
here's that tomahawk again. Yeah, that's
That's like the
badass.
Oh, who the hell is this? There's a GI Joe that came with a tomahawk like that.
That I don't know.
Who is it? Not Spirit. Oh, somebody
But
came
yeah,
with
this
that.
is a new Kickstarter that's coming out. I'm not exactly sure. See, right now they're calling them that they're 1/12 scale. So hopefully they stick with 1/12 because like
I would.
this scale right here is perfect. You know, they're
That's great.
bigger. They're a little bigger than Marvel Legends, but not so big that they couldn't be played with together, you know?
No, yeah, they definitely scale well. If I mean, they would look very out of place with the 7-inch line.
Yeah.
And again, I feel 7-inch is very
There's nothing in 7-inch other than McFarlane and a couple
yeah.
other, oddball things. It's like,
It's a garbage scale to go in. Why he went that
yep.
route, I don't know. I only bought 3 McFarlane figures. It was the first Superman that came out from Action Comics 1000, the first Batman, which was I think Detective Comics 1000, and the Devastator. Just because I
Yeah.
wanted a Doomsday type figure. Other than that, though,
I
I'll
think
look
he
at the
went
line when it came
7-inch
out.
though because McFarlane always did 7-inch with Spawn.
But it's
Like,
such a shit decision to make.
yeah. But
I
that's
mean,
Todd, right? I mean, I think it's kind of like if I make them in 7-inch, if people want to collect them, they can't be like you got to buy, like you can't use your McFarlane Batman with Marvel's Captain America, right? Because
I
they don't,
know. I've
right?
tried taking pictures with them.
Yeah,
It's just not going to happen.
yeah, it doesn't work, right?
No.
So it's
We
like
had to do some force perspective
yeah,
with that. Very
yep,
heavy.
yep,
And it's not worth shooting.
yeah. That's why it's nice to have like the Mezcos because it's like they're six
Dude,
and a
it's a
quarter inch,
perfect
perfect.
scale.
Yep.
These guys work great with anything that's like your true 1/12 scale. They might be a
Yep.
little shorter, might be a little bigger, but
Yeah, but even in a picture, right? I mean, you could take like Gomez and put him with the Marvel Legends, and he's going to look just fine. You know what I
well,
mean?
look today. I posted a picture today of Superman and Stan Lee, and it. I mean, they're out of scale, but realistically, you can see that Stan Lee is shorter than Superman, but it makes sense. He's an 80-year-old something man that's
Yeah, for
compared
sure,
to a
right?
35-year-old.
And I mean, I don't know. I think Superman should be at least like 6'2", and like in
Yeah,
real life, right?
well, canon wise, that's him and Batman are about that height. But
Yeah,
again, if you compare Marvel Legend and that particular Mezcal, I can't speak for the other rest of the line, but
yeah,
the very slight height difference you see, it makes sense to be.
yep, exactly.
It's within that I guess that universe.
Yep.
I guess would be the way to put it.
So I think besides Todd always having like the 7-inch for Spawn, I think he did it as a big fuck you. You can't mix anything else with my with my toys. You got to play with just my toys.
Which is unfortunate because I mean I feel like his sales would probably be a lot higher if he sat at that 6-inch line.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
And he'd probably be raking in a lot more money. But whether it's Ego or Warner Brothers or combination of the two or God knows what else, it's a mistake to be sitting and stick with that 7-inch.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, listen, for all I know, maybe it's something to do with his design. Like for a reason that he can't get down to that 6-inch and keep.
Well, it's possible, right? Because like we all know he's got like the longer legs, like this Batman, right? He's got long,
tiny heads, big bodies.
Yep. So I mean, the for statues, they work just fine.
Yes.
I have, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 of the McFarlane multiverse, but they're really just kind of like shelf statues. I don't really do anything with them.
Because they don't go with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, what are you going to really pair them with if you were looking to do whether a storyline or just a one-off shot?
Nothing other than more 7-inch figures, right?
They don't go with anything.
Nope.
It's a very hard line to compare with. You would have to stick with strictly McFarlane and have them pose with other DC figures and McFarlane universe figures.
Yep, exactly.
You don't have any consistency across.
Yeah, you got to do Spawn with Batman or Batman with Spawn or
Yeah,
Superman, and that's it.
it corners you in. It
Yep.
sucks, especially as a collector with all these fans clamoring for a proper 6-inch DC line. Like I
Yep.
think the for the DC deceased line, I think that was fairly close to
Yep.
like the
It
Marvel
was.
Legends
Yep.
size.
Yeah,
And
the
people
old
go
DC
gaga
line
for that.
was.
And you would figure if you want to make money, you would go along those that line and stick to that scale. And he just for whatever reason, I'm gonna all right, 7-inch figures and you make you motherfuckers just stick with my shit only. I, I'm a fucking asshole like that.
That's a great Todd McFarlane. I'm going
You
to
can thank
clip
my
that.
friends over at Jameson for that.
Yeah. I'm going to clip that and put that as a short on my YouTube channel.
Folks, meme the hell out of it all you want. But that seems to be his mentality, whether it's
Oh, for
evil
sure.
or
I
not.
agree 100%.
You
100%.
could be making so much more bank, but he
Yep.
wants to stick to that fucking scale. And he's a dick for doing it. And now he's charging what, $40 for a figure?
Only for
I want to be the
certain
last
ones.
to raise prices.
Yeah. For certain ones he is, but he definitely did like a really sly price increase and then said it was because the card holder, which, no one gives a shit about the card holder. It's just as
No,
worthless as the stand. So,
that's you're blowing smoke up the wrong ass for that.
I mean, I
You wouldn't
couldn't
be
tell you
surprised.
how many McFarlane figures. I think, like I said, I've got maybe 6 or 7, and Luke has maybe 5 or 6. So maybe a dozen to 15 at the most that Luke and I have bought, and I don't have a single card. Right? They've all gone in the trash with the
Yeah,
package. Right? It's like,
I think I gave them to my kids when I got them.
yep.
Like I think for my for Hanukkah last year, I bought my son the Jim Lee inspired Superman, which looked fucking atrocious. And I got my daughter the Batgirl.
Yeah.
So aside from those two and the other 3 that I bought, since the line started, you're talking less than half a dozen figures I've gotten.
Yeah.
And I am a Superman sucker. The fact that I have the logo tattooed on my arm, I would bend over backwards, let him plow right through me if he asked me.
Yeah.
But the fact I only have 2 in my house, aside from those little superpower ones, he's leaving a lot of money on the table by doing this 7-inch
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. He has I think he's made one decent looking Superman, and that was pretty much it.
The first one.
Yep.
My opinion.
Yeah. The rest of them have weird looking face sculpts or,
Well, the proportions are off too.
Yeah, proportions are off. It's like
the little heads, and I didn't notice it until somebody pointed out this. The little head, big body thing is very apparent on the first Batman that they released.
Yep. But again, they're designed just like his Spawn characters were. His Spawn figures were the same exact way. Huge bodies, tiny little Spawn heads on them.
They're very theatric friendly.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, I mean, he's got like double joints in his some of his multiverse figures, but they still don't like pose as well as Marvel Legends and shit, right?
Hasbro has an unlock.
Uh-huh.
Posing wise, there was Kip Ash Customs. He's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. He did a comparison. I saw it on, I think it was on TikTok itself, where somebody was saying that McFarlane can pose just as well as Marvel Legends. So he took the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man and compared it to a Batman. And just for an ab crunch, mind you, this wasn't anything spectacular or fancy posing wise. Just an ab crunch forward. The McFarlane figure is a very decent amount behind Hasbro in that. And I mean, for a company like Warner Brothers to sit there, and this isn't a knock on McFarlane. If you like his line, great. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But for a company like Warner Brothers to sit there and allow a company, being McFarlane, to make such a niche line, when knowing that the rest of the toy community is this 6.5 inch bubble, rather.
Yep.
To allow McFarlane to make something 7-inch, which is so,
but
of
like
plausibility.
Yeah, I look at it this way, right? Like, if you take Marvel Legends and then you take like the Marvel Universe, right? Marvel, the MCU, right? Those movies are far and away so much better than anything DC has come out with, right?
Well,
And
well,
it's
well. The Snyderverse is perfect.
what's that?
The Snyderverse was perfect. I'm just saying. Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. Those are
I'm
great movies.
not I'm not saying they weren't decent movies, but comparatively to the MCU, they
I know.
weren't they weren't theatrical masterpieces like a
Yes.
lot of the MCU was, right? Just like the Batman, right? I really liked the Batman movie, but it's like compared to an MCU movie, it's not the same,
It's
right?
hard to compete with the Disney machine. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, Warner Brothers, it's like, yeah, I think they just like accepted that they're second rate in the movies and in the action figure market, right? It's like,
Well, they
yeah,
rushed everything with the movies.
yeah, for sure.
Don't
Yeah.
forget that. Like at least with was it Paramount had Marvel before Disney bought them out, right? Like that Paramount did Iron Man and did Hulk.
Yeah.
So they were taking the time with building
Yep.
everything up between it was Hulk, no, Iron Man first, then Hulk, then Thor, then Disney bought them out. So they were gradually building up. DC did, or Warner Brothers rather did Man of Steel. Then they dove right into basically a Justice League movie with Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
For this fuck building up, let's rush it right now and just lose a lot of money and then blame the
Yeah.
fans for not liking our movies.
Well, the other problem is like they've switched directions so many times. Like
Oh god, yes.
they had the Dark Knight saga, right?
Yep.
And then they were going to do this thing where they did like the Man of Steel, and then they were supposed to do a separate Batman movie and then do a new Superman movie. Then all of a sudden, the Superman movie turned into Superman versus Batman or Batman
Yeah.
versus Superman, whatever the fuck it was, right? It's like they don't stick to like a plot. Now, hopefully, James Gunn comes in and says, this is what we're doing. We're going to build up these characters little by little, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping he can realize that like common sense has to prevail with this. Like we're at
Right.
the point now where we're getting to that superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
We've had 20 years of this now.
Yeah. And the MCU's not coming out with anything that's,
Yeah, they
great,
kind of
right?
since Endgame they've kind of been dragging their heels.
Yeah, exactly. So like right now is the perfect time, but they got to do it right because there's definitely superhero fatigue in the movie theaters, right?
Mhm.
I mean, 20 years of MCU mixed in with a couple of Batmans and Justice Leagues and shit like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Their best bet right now is to they've gotten a chance that they're not going to catch up. I guarantee that. But they have
No.
a chance at least to I guess make their mark.
Yeah.
So Superman is supposed to come out next June or July.
Yep.
So we've got a little over a year now before that comes out. And they've already got like 6 other established DC characters in that
Yep.
movie, not counting people inside the Superman mythos, just like between Hawk Girls and Green Lanterns and stuff like that. Justice Society members, for instance. They've got a chance to sit there and make a little niche for themselves and basically just
Night, Allison.
we're not the Marvel cookie cutter Disney type thing. We're worth watching. We're worth going to the movies and paying your hard-earned dollar to.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't have faith in him, and I've been a DC kid.
I was always a DC
forever.
fan, dude. Yep.
I mean, I love Marvel. I love the characters, but I mean, I have been DC since day one. My parents bought me every comic they could when the Death of Superman came around.
Yep.
Same with the Resurrection. If they did a second print, a third print, a fourth print, I had every alternate cover.
Yep. I was always been a huge DC guy myself. The only thing we can hope for is that maybe with the new DC universe coming, maybe they could separate that from Warner Brothers' other line and give that toy line to somebody else other than McFarlane. I mean, we could always hope, right?
We see a lot of people crying that they want to give it to Hasbro. I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think it'll go to
I can see a
Hasbro.
conflict of interest popping up in like Disney bitching about it, whatever the case is.
For sure. Yep.
Mattel, unfortunately, was starting to really improve their articulation and their figure quality towards the end. And I guess maybe the contract expired by the time they got to that point.
Well, I mean, they'd make some decent wrestling figures. So, I mean, there's no reason that they couldn't do.
That was surprising about it.
Yeah. There's no reason they couldn't do a superhero line.
I don't know who else could, aside from Jazzwares and Mattel, I should say. I don't know of anybody else that could really sit there and carry a DC license well. Because McFarlane, for me, is not it. I would have dove head over heels into a DC line if it was done within that 6-inch realm.
I mean,
not the
right now for companies out there that are doing that type of figure that you'd want to see, like a Hasbro Legends style, right? You got Hasbro, which that we know isn't going to happen. Hasbro's not going to have the Marvel and the DC license together.
no.
That'll just never going to happen.
I see too many problems with that.
Right. So you have Jazzwares, you have Mattel, and you have maybe Valaverse could hold it, but I mean they're still kind of small. I don't know if they could do the production quantities, right?
He would have to be paid a good amount of money. He would be
Yeah.
great at it
Yep.
because his articulation and
Well,
his
he
skill
loves. He's a
great.
DC fan too, so I mean that would help. But
Yeah.
other than those three, there's no real toy company out there I could see stepping in and doing it. Right? It's just not.
No, I
They're just
mean
not there.
you got like Medicom, but those are imports you're talking about.
Right, and they'll have them. Right? You know they're going to have.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Medicom is doing it now. SH Figure Arts is doing it now.
by
Right?
the way though, I can't see Bandai or Medicom saying, "Hey, here's your normal Target, Walmart, general commercially available figures." They're a niche market, and they're great at being a niche market. They're excellent at what they're pumping out, but they're not going to be your everyday retailer friendly company.
Yeah.
Bobby could probably do it. I don't know the specifics of it. He would.
I don't know if Bobby's big enough to scale to that yet, though. That's the problem.
Money is going to be his biggest enemy.
Yeah.
He's still a very small.
Right. That's what I mean. I don't think he can scale to that demand yet. Right.
No, you're talking about like Warner Brothers have to give him a wide fucking berth to take probably a year before he can probably produce his first line.
Yep.
And God knows what's going to come after that. It would probably be easy as each wave rather.
Yeah, for sure.
Gets released, but he's a small company. He'd be perfect for it, but he's too small. Jazz Wars, I don't know enough about the company.
Jazzwares, I mean,
50-50.
They're pretty small too. Jada Toys, right? Like Jada Toys doing the Street Fighter figures. Those guys.
That's one thing. That's
Jada is, they could possibly do it, but they're not exactly set up as a huge action figure toy company, right? They do a lot of
small in Valaverse, I would think.
Yeah,
They
do a lot of. Well, they're big, but they do a lot of die-cast and shit,
Oh,
right?
okay.
They're more car and die-cast type shit more than action figures, right? The Street Fighters was kind of their first, dive into real, true action figures. But
it did sell like hotcakes, though.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
And I agree with this. What Thanos is saying here: Marvel and DC need to spend a while with isolated heroes and teams, and change them up tonally, so they don't need to worry about these huge mass appeals.
100% agree.
Yeah, totally.
Look at those the first Iron Man movie and Hulk movie, as connected as they were still, if things went south, they were still safely in their own little universe. So,
and I mean that first
Iron Man's good. If Iron Man didn't pan out, Hulk is good.
Yeah. I mean, the Hulk wasn't great, but Iron Man was fucking stellar, dude. I mean, Iron Man came out and blew the socks off everybody, dude. It was like
it was a Dark Horse type of superhero movie, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Jada did do the Universal Monsters, but they're still a young company as far as the action figure market
They're
goes.
very small. I don't know where they compare as far as the hierarchy of toy companies go. I mean, in my opinion, the big ones are Hasbro, Mattel, Hot Toys, whoever owns them.
Yeah. Hot Toys is actually like I think Japanese or Chinese company.
So it's
and they're partnered with Sideshow Toys for US.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sideshow is the name you see on that. But to me, those are the big ones. Valaverse might be up there next. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still gonna be tough.
Medicom and Figure Arts obviously would be above Valaverse, but commercial.
Yeah, the other thing though is like Medicom, SH Figure Arts, Mezco, right? They make great figures, but you're talking they put out 10 figures a year in those type of license lines, right?
It's not enough for a viable line, I guess, to put like
right. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to sit on Walmart shelves and
like we were talking before. I was saying how I wish that Mezco would do like the Reign of the Supermen line.
Yeah.
With this or Nightfall, for instance.
Yep.
They could do it like Medicom is doing, but you're not going to see that in a Target, in a Walmart. Not going to happen.
Yeah, like Medicom has the Batman and Bane coming out this summer. The ones that I showed you, I can't
Yeah,
remember
they,
what
they, they do a Nightfall line, and
yeah,
they're doing the
Nightfall,
Hush
right?
line as well.
But I pre-ordered that over a year ago. Well, it'll be a year by the time it comes out, right? When it
Well,
comes
look,
out this
look like
summer.
this. The first Nightfall, no, not Nightfall. The first Hush figure was that gray and blue Batman,
Yeah.
right? That got released, I think, the summer of 19 or the summer of 20, I believe.
I think it was 2020. I think
All right,
that's when
so
that
you're
one came
talking
out.
4 years ago for just
Yeah.
one. I don't even think they've even done Robin yet.
No, they did a Nightwing, but not Robin.
But still, 4 years though, and granted, Hush wasn't this multi-year thing. Like I was saying, the Spider-Man Clone Saga, that spanned fucking years.
Right. Yep.
The Batman Hush story might have been a year, and Batman was done. Superman was done within the first. That was in 2020. Those releases. I remember I got those two. But again, that's 4 years ago.
Yep.
So unless Medicom was to have a separate line, again, hypothetically for a DC universe that was a lesser quality and commercially available, they don't. Nope. I can't see them doing it. They've got a nice little niche right now with all the comic book friendly.
Yep. Yeah, you know they're gonna like if there's figures made from this movie, they're gonna do some, but it's gonna be a Wonder Woman and a Superman, and then 2 years later you might get a Batman and whatever, right? And and we don't know what villains there's going to be there, so you got villains they got to work in there too, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, I agree 100%. Jada's they're not like it's just like Valiverse, right? Like Bobby would probably love to do a DC line, but he's not in a position, I don't think, to do something that scale.
I think he's biting at the bit for it, to be honest with you. Like, remember when he said he signed a license with that big company?
Yeah.
That was what? Bat in the Sun?
Yep.
Because I haven't seen shit from this giant licensing deal.
Oh, he lost that contract.
I could be wrong.
He lost that contract.
Yeah, but then there was something else he was apparently signed, which was, I'm assuming, Bat in the Sun.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Action Force can drag him probably for a long time. Like, he'll probably make a good amount of money off it. Right now, military figures are a big thing to have. But at the same token, though, people change their taste in things. We're not always going to be interested in that. I started very heavy in the Classified and Valiverse. I'm now switching over to Bezcom. I'm still going to collect Valiverse, but people's tastes change.
Yeah, for sure.
He would probably, I wouldn't say he'd be as Batman heavy as McFarlane is if he got the DC line.
Oh no, he wouldn't. But you also got to wonder how much of that Batman drive is being pushed by Warner Brothers, right? We don't know.
I honestly don't think as much. I don't think it's being driven as much as people think it is, because Todd has always been very Batman heavy.
Spawn for sure.
Very heavily influenced by Batman.
Yep.
Todd did that Batman Spawn crossover back in the early '90s. I want to say mid '90s.
Yeah. Well,
he's got a hard on for Batman like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, and again, listen, that's fine and dandy. I don't give a shit. Whatever toy company gets a license, you want to sit there and pump out figures, great. Like Hasbro does.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Wolverine a lot. It sells. Batman sells. The world is very emo and dark friendly right now.
Yeah.
What do? You go for a dark emo character like that.
But, I think that's like the thing, right? Like you're saying though, right? Like people's taste changed with like Valiverse, right? I was huge into Valiverse and Classified last year, right up to PowerCon really. And then I kind of switched over to I had a few Barbarians and AWOCs and stuff, but then like after PowerCon over the summer, I switched over to mostly like a fantasy type figures, and it's like
when you and me hooked up, look how many posts we were doing of just Valiverse shit.
Yeah,
the Golden Knights we made were just it was all Steel Brigades.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
And every storyline we pumped out for, I'd say the first.
Yeah, even our Monster Hunters were all based off of Valiverse figures.
Yeah,
so it's like
if I took a picture of my display room, so to speak, I've got boxes and loose figures on the floor. 90% of Valiverse. My display is all Valiverse right now with a handful of Marvel Legends, and that's it. It was just taste.
Yep.
But I feel like Bobby would be very good for the DC line if he were to get it. I feel like he'd have to get his head out of his ass a little bit.
Absolutely, 100%.
Granted, I haven't watched 3POA in a while,
It
But
hasn't got any better.
all right, so great. So what I'm about to say makes sense then. He's got his head too far up his ass with certain things. Tony sucking his dick every 2 seconds isn't helping anything. But I feel like he'd be so good, and the fact that I know the licensing fees and all that, but
Yeah.
Bobby is fantastic in giving you what you want with a line. I will say that.
Right.
Regardless of what figure you point to, whether it be Garrison, Karak, Condor, Desert Rat, the basic troop builders, you get a set amount of hands
Yep.
for every figure. You get a great amount of weapons and accessories for every figure. And what our community loves is stands.
Yep.
And you're given a stand. The guy is he's like you're the quarterback and he's the cheerleader on prom night. That's what he is as far as giving you what you want.
Yeah.
He's great with that, but his ego is a problem. I don't think that would hold him back as far as getting a line goes, but he's got to again learn to sit there and take his ego out.
I think though, if he got a line that he wasn't in control of, right? Because if he got a line from Warner Brothers, he's not going to be able to control that, right? And that's going to be the problem. That'd be the downfall.
Yeah, we can't have guns in our lines.
Yeah.
Again, I bought this separately. Mezco felt the need to make this separately to allow certain weapons to be allowed for this character to have that he should have had to begin with.
Well, even McFarlane's done that, right? McFarlane made a bunch of DC characters and came out with 2 or 3 weapon sets since then.
Yeah,
they're made for the Spawn figures.
Created for that. It had like a Mr. Freeze type gun.
They had Harley Quinn's gun. Yeah.
I mean,
they were made for Spawn figures, but they're all related to DC characters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not going to fault Warner Brothers for not wanting to put gun violence forward.
For sure, right?
I'm a Second Amendment supporter. I don't have any firearms myself.
The world is very polarized right now with that kind of stuff. So,
but still, I mean, you're being an asshole if you're going to sit there and think that you can sit there and sell, for instance, and not that Warner Bros. Has to write this character, but if you were to sell a Punisher figure without guns, you're an asshole.
Hey, Marvel sold Deadpool figures without fucking weapons. So, I mean, he came with swords and not guns, right?
They also sold them with weapons too.
Yeah. It doesn't make any damn sense, right? But the best part is it's like if you think about it, right? There's not a lot of weapons in DC, right? I mean, sometimes the bad guys have guns, but I mean, like the superhero figures, they don't really use guns, right? As in, you go to Marvel, you got the Punisher, who's like all guns. You got Deadpool, who's basically all weapons, right? It's like, it's kind of hard to sell those figures without the weapons that, they're on the screen shooting them. It's like, well, come on, guys.
Well, you look at it like this. Like, I've always compared DC to being very ethereal and Marvel very grounded.
Yep.
DC has a lot of God.
Yeah.
Or
Marvel's JLA is a pantheon of gods for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Marvel seems to be more, as much as they have their Thors and their Sentries and their Lokis and people within that realm, they have a lot of street level, so to speak, friendly characters.
Yep.
Punishers, Wolverines, Spider-Man, Captain America,
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Even Iron Man, as advanced as he made with his technology, he's still.
Yeah, Iron Man is just Batman in a super tech suit. That's all it is, right? But Tony Stark is not a superhero. He's got a superhero suit.
He's still fairly street level if you compare him to the realm of DC.
Yep.
DC is outerworldly, Marvel grounded.
Yeah. Well, I think that's been one of the biggest problems, like with a lot of the superhero movies and superhero cartoons and everything, right? He's a hard character to write a good story with because he doesn't have a lot of vulnerability, right? Spider-Man or Superman. Superman. Yeah. Now, Superman's a great character, but like, when you have a character that doesn't have a lot of vulnerability, it's hard to write a good story that'll be in a 2-hour movie when there's not that in it, right?
He's Jesus with a cape.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've heard the comparison countless times over the years. He's Jesus or God with a cape.
Yep.
And you even see that with imagery, whether it be comics, TV shows, movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like the animated series from like the mid-90s did him perfectly. It was and as much as fanboys, and I will sit there and say that I am the poster boy for this. As much as fanboys hate when he gets depowered for things, it works in the right setting.
Yeah.
The 1990s cartoon depowered him just enough. You can't have a brick house monster going through villains with no weakness, because now where's your tension?
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? No vulnerability makes it tough, right? It
Yeah,
makes
but
it
if
a
you
really
if you
hard
bring him
write.
down enough, he's still invulnerable. He
Yep.
still has all his other heat, vision, breath, strength, speed, flight, and all that. Either bring him down or bring his villains up to the level where they can kind of match. And even though one will always get the edge over the
Yeah.
other, that's your fine line, and it's difficult
Yep.
to do with him. He's 85 years old,
Yeah. But see,
and
that's the
he
thing,
can
right? When
pump up so
Superman
much.
was out during like World War II and all those
Yeah.
black and white cartoons, that's what the country wanted, right? They
Yes.
wanted the Boy Scout that was, beating up everybody, right?
Well,
They
look at the
wanted
Silver
that.
Age.
Yep. And
I was
now
watching.
that's
I was watching
like,
the quest for the was a quest for peace with my kids the other day.
yeah.
My son is currently going through his I am completely obsessed with Superman phase right now. So he wanted to watch Quest for Peace. I put it on for him, and there's a scene where Nuclear Man destroys the Great Wall of China. And sidebar, you don't see one Asian in the scene, but he destroys it. Christopher Reeve lands in a field and starts staring at the Great Wall, and you see all the bricks get rebuilt. We've all seen that scene.
Yep.
My wife is sitting there, looks at me and goes, "When did he get the superpower to do that?" So that was a Silver Age for you. The guy had a rainbow vision at one point.
Yep.
I don't remember what it did, but he
Yep.
can shoot rainbows out of his eyes.
Yep.
That was a problem.
I'm
You can't
sorry,
have a
ma'am. I
hero like
didn't mean to fly through your house. Let me rebuild that for you. Give me 2
that. It
seconds.
was just like,
You need
can you
new
imagine
plumbing done?
having
Let me help you with that.
but imagine creating a character nowadays that can do all that stuff,
Right. Yeah.
which is essentially God.
Yep.
What
It'd
threat
be
is there? It's a boring character.
exactly the point. That's why there's been more Batman movies than Superman because of
Yeah,
that
because you have a
reason.
human in a suit as compared to a
Yep.
god.
Yep.
You would essentially need him to fight Thor for it to be like a really like, oh my god, who's gonna win this fight? Like when Batman vs Superman came out, I don't care how many kryptonite grenades or spears he has. Batman's gonna get his ass just kicked.
Well,
Right
sure.
by
I mean, like
Catwoman.
unless Batman can figure out a way to actually lock Superman in a room and then put the kryptonite in there. I mean, there's always a way for Superman to get away, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
he would need to depower him somehow or keep him constant on his heels. And it's very difficult to do when you're talking about a deity type character.
exactly. I
It's
mean, he can see through walls. He can shoot through walls. He can fly,
yeah,
wherever he wants to into another fucking universe. I mean,
it's basically you're comparing using a hammer to a cardboard box.
right? Exactly.
That's all it is.
Yep.
And
100%.
I like the detectiveness of Batman. I like the character they built around him. All
I
the
really
jokes
wish
aside
that they
from
would do that, like in a movie, is do a Batman movie where he is back doing a lot more detective work. That's
like
like
the
been
Pattinson
that's
movie.
been one of the biggest things missing from a lot of Batman movies that have been out lately is that he
Well,
doesn't do any detective stuff.
you remember when they did the there's a Dark Knight was the Heath Ledger movie,
Yes.
right? That what they were saying, like, oh, he's doing so much detective work in this. Motherfucker looked at a brick.
Yeah.
This is where the bullet came from. That was
Yeah.
shit. But at
And
least
they
in the Pattinson one, there was a decent amount of detectiveness. I would like to have seen more.
yep.
There was a good amount in that movie. I want
Yeah,
to see
they
a
tried
little
to put
heavier.
some of that in there for sure. Like when he was walking through the Riddler's house with Commissioner Gordon, right? They were
Yes.
showing him like looking at clues and stuff, right?
But
Figuring it out.
that was the part that reminded me of like Seven.
Yep.
It was
100%.
like the Batman. If you take the Batman character out of it, it was almost as if Sherlock Holmes met Seven
Mm-hmm.
without the gore and the shit like that. But it was a very good balance. Would I like to see more detective themes played into it? Absolutely, I would. We don't get enough movies like that to begin with.
Right.
B, it's a different side of Batman that you would see. Would the casual fanboys like it? Probably not, because where's the superhero to mash them up? But it gives you that side you don't see, and it's an interesting take to have.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of inspiration with the Detective Comics Batman from Sherlock Holmes, right? I mean, that was basically
Absolutely.
what he was doing, right? And they, like you
Zorro and
said,
Sherlock are what makes Batman.
yeah, they
You marry
don't.
those two characters together, give him some horns on his head,
Yep,
you have Batman.
yep. They don't show that part of it enough, and I wish
Yeah.
they would. Right? Like you said, would the young fanboys that want to see nothing but Batman kicking ass enjoy it? Probably not. But who gives a shit? Try it, see what happens.
Listen, if you put Batman in the title, it's going to make money.
Yep.
That's the world we're in right now. Like in the 70s, you put an S on screen, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
From
Look at
89
those.
forward, a bat.
Look at the Sherlock Holmes movies that they did with Robert Downey Jr., right? Like if they did something like that with a Batman, it'd be perfect. There was enough action in it to keep you entertained, you know, but there's a lot of detective shit in those too.
Yeah, make it a little darker, a little moodier. You have Gotham by Gaslight by proxy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'd be a great movie to watch. Like when I would also love to see like more of this multiverse stuff they're doing with between Pattinson, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, the Joker with
they've already established the fact that Pattinson is going to get another movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're filming the Joaquin Phoenix sequel right now with
Lady Gaga.
And then there's the gun universe they're making with whoever that Batman's going to be.
Yep.
So now you essentially have 3 Batman running around. I would love to see more multiverse stories. I don't give a shit about these conjoined share universes.
Yeah.
It's great if it works out, fine. But I mean, you can't tell me that you wouldn't like to see like more of the Snyderverse Justice League. Where that was
that's
going.
just it, right? I mean, yeah, it's absolutely right.
They've
already said like the Batman and the Joker are in their own separate universe, right?
They're not joined.
Yep, completely.
And there's going to be another Batman. So you're talking 3 Batman with that alone.
Yep.
And by proxy, 3 different Jokers.
Yep.
There was a movement that was strong enough and loud enough to sit there and force Warner Bros. To release an alternate Justice League cut that was praised by both critics and fans.
Yep.
So you know what? Throw more money to that. Give yourselves more paydays because people will pay to see that shit.
Oh yeah, and like you said, if it's got Batman in the title, people are going to go watch that shit. It doesn't matter.
Listen, I think Zack Snyder's not a good filmmaker.
No,
he's not. He's gotten lucky and somehow, just keeps getting good beats. But I feel like what he did with Superman and Man of Steel was good because Chris Nolan was guiding him. Batman with Superman, he went off of what Chris Nolan gave him. Was doing very good. His Justice League movie, even at 4 hours long, was very good. I'm curious as to how it would have concluded. So you know what? People are clamoring for it. They want to see it. They always hear the whole like sell it to Netflix thing or whatever the case is. Fuck it. Put it on Max. You can make some
Max
money
has the ownership for it. Make a stream one.
Keep it as a Max exclusive then.
Yep.
If you want to see the Justice League 2 and 3, subscribe to Max and you'll get it.
What's up, Tony?
Hi, Tony. I don't know you, but you look gorgeous today.
Tony's fakes, man. He's got he does awesome classified customs and some DC guy. He's a big DC guy too.
Is he on Instagram?
Yeah. Yep.
Tony, my name is my Instagram handle. If you can, just send me a message, something like that. I would love to sit and check out your page.
He just did recently. Tony put out the a line from G.I. Joe Classified of the Joes when they were in Vietnam, when Snake Eyes and all that from the comic book when they were in Vietnam.
Snake Eyes Stalker. I forgot who the third one was when that still around.
Awesome stuff.
I'm down for that. I'm a sucker for any kit bashes or customs that people do, especially with Joes and things like that.
Yeah, he's a big, like I said, big DC guy. Has a whole superpowers collection. Did a bunch of customs DC guys too. So
yeah, that's the other thing too. In the event that whoever's watching this, if you happen to have small children and you're thinking about getting that McFarlane Superpowers line, I will say this: they are greatly made, but the capes, they will dye your figures, so you might want to wash them. And if you plan on giving any to your children, the Wonder Woman head isn't the most secure thing. I've now gone through 2 of them for my daughter. And she's careful with her toys. But I have had to go through 2 of them now because she decided to try and put Wonder Woman's cape back on. And my daughter is a saint and an angel when it comes to being sensitive and gingerly. And the fucking thing popped off like a white head on a teenager's head. It just... so I had to buy a second one for her. I told her, be very
Ah,
careful with this, and she's been very careful with it. She babies it. I don't know if it was maybe a bad batch of plastic or
yeah.
just poorly designed, but
Do they still got those the Fisher Price ones that were being made, or the DC superheroes? What the hell were those called? Yeah, the smaller versions of those though. The ones that are
yes,
like 3 inch
they're
tall or
like the
whatever
little
they are.
people ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I got oh god, I bought those back in 19 for my daughter. I think
Yeah.
she loved them. My son found them when he was born. He loves them.
Yep.
It seems to be they keep releasing the same seven or so figures or
Yeah, they're all the
figure
same
characters, I
characters.
should say.
Yeah, they're all the same characters.
Yeah,
But
they're
those things are
hollow in the
built.
middle.
I mean, they're Fisher Price, of course, so they're
Yeah,
built.
they're hollow in the middle. You can, yeah, I think they're made for like you can stick your thumb and kind of bounce them in front of your kid a little bit.
Yeah.
You can find them in any Walmart, Target. They're cute little things to have. Cape
Yeah,
Master.
Cape Master. Cape Master makes awesome capes.
What's Cape Master?
He's a custom cape maker. He's on Instagram too. He makes capes for like superpowers figures,
Okay.
but they're like nice. They're nicer capes, right? Like puts McFarlane to shape. He makes repros for like the old superpowers from the 90s or the 80s. I mean,
All right. Can somebody send me a link to that page as well? I would love to check them out. I'm always into trying
yeah,
to
I'll
upgrade
send
my
you
figure.
Cape Masters. I'll send you
Please
Cape
do.
Masters when we get off here.
I got Jackson. I had to buy him. Remember I sent you that I told you I got Jackson that Superman Rebirth figure.
Right.
Well, he lost his cape and had a conniption about it. So I bought him a second one when I replaced Maddie's Wonder Woman. And that cape has gone the way of the dodo as well.
Yeah. So Cape Masters are usually like I think he does like $10 a cape normally, but he always runs sales where you can get like 3 for 15 or something like
That's
that, right?
perfect. That's fine. If I can get something like that, that'd be great. And even I bought myself like the my own Superman. I keep in my cup holder in my car.
So Tony said you're following him and he just followed you back.
Thanks, Tony.
So you must have been following him already and didn't know it.
I follow 700 people. No knock to anybody.
Yeah.
You lose track, and I'm sure everybody's aware of how that works.
Hey, you had a big explosion once we started doing all the collaborations.
I went from like 100 followers
up,
at 250 within a couple months.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm almost at 700 followers now. I've
Yeah.
You were a very big influence into my Instagram influence, if you will. Every now and then I'll look and I'm like, I've gained 2 or 3 followers because I did a collaboration with you. Somebody happened to like the same photos we did. Well, this Teflon guy, he doesn't seem like half an idiot. I'll follow him around. Yeah. And then you never hear from them again when you go to post something.
All right. I'm going to send you just one of his posts and then you can follow him.
This is a cape guy?
Yeah. But then if you on his bio, he has the actual link to his actual Cape Master website. That's where he sells his capes at.
It's like an Etsy store?
Let me see if it's an Etsy store. I don't know if it's an Etsy store.
I think I just got a notification for it, but my phone's looking weird.
No, it's actually it's its own website. So
okay, perfect.
But like he's got like he sells like Star Wars cloaks. He makes capes for like the new McFarlane like vintage 66 Batman figures and stuff like that.
I wonder if I can get a cape for that Superman kit bash I've been working on.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
That'd be handy. Like
right here's one. That's for that newest like 6-inch Superman from the second series of the 66 Batman line.
That would be perfect.
That cape right there. But like I said, that's $10 normally, but like he a lot of times runs sales and stuff.
That'd be great to grab.
Yeah. And he makes his capes like so much better than McFarlane, right? Like here's one on the unmasked 66 Batman.
Oh, you can already tell that those McFarlane ones sit very.
Yeah, they're just really thin material, chintzy material. He has really quality.
Like they have like these. I want to say shoulder pads. Like they sit very stiff.
Yeah. So like he's got this one for the Superpowers.
Oh, the Justice Lords. I remember that cartoon. That'd be great to grab.
Yeah. So he's like I said, the link for the website's actually in the bio.
Perfect.
So
I'll happily grab a few of those.
yeah.
It'll keep my son quiet, and it'll keep me quiet too.
Yep.
Oh.
All right. I think it's time to call it a show.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock almost. Yeah.
Good golly, it is.
Let's see. What's Tony saying here? I got Cape Master capes. They're awesome. Custom capes. Yes, they are. I've got one of them for my Robin, my vintage Robin superpowers.
Right quick, and then we can wrap up. I remember back like when they released the Batman Returns figures back in 92, 93.
Yeah, something like that.
I bought some. My parents and my grandparents bought me the Robin figure. It was the be-all end-all Robin figure for me. It probably still is comparatively. And I remember I got the cape wet and I tried drying it. I took a hair dryer and put it straight onto the cape. I just
Flame on.
Away. I pulled it away after 30 seconds. A hole was burnt into the cape.
Yeah.
Like, no, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I haven't recovered from that. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 41 in May, and I have not recovered from that now. 35 years later, or 30 years later rather.
So Matthew, he has a whole line of repro capes for a lot of the vintage superpowers. So and the modern ones. So yes, he does.
Cool.
So, all right, guys, everybody, thank you for stopping by. Rob, thanks for joining me. So real quick, next week is going to be a farewell show to Luke because Luke's going to be moving on with life. So next week will be his last official show as co-host. So make sure you tune in for that, guys.
I will not miss it.
We'll be saying goodbye to Luke. I'm sure he'll pop on once in a while down the line, but he's moving on with his life now that he's a man.
Got some hair on his chest now.
Got some hair on his chest, a little on his chin too, but not much. So anyway, everybody, thanks for popping in. Rob, you got anything you want to promote?
My Instagram right there.
Yeah.
_Teflon_3.
And if you can't find it, just go to my page because he's probably in one of the top 3 posts that are on there.
I'll guarantee I am. I do a lot of collaborations with Ed. Follow him if you're not already. He is the bee's knees, if you will.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, guys. Anything else?
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, dude. Appreciate you coming in, man. Hang on. We'll pop backstage again.
All right. Bye. That was fun.
We're still live. The stream will not end.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
It's actually giving me an error that I can't end the stream.
Well, I've got him.
That is awesome, dude. It's literally giving me an error that I can't end the stream.
He's great. And I've got all right, wait. You know what? If you can't end the stream, fine. Fuck it.
It won't let me end it, so I guess we're still hanging out, guys.
Here's the dilemma I had. So that a couple years ago, I don't remember what company, but they did like a Batman and Ninja Turtles box.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep, I can't remember who it was, but I remember that set.
Yeah, it was a GameStop exclusive.
Yep.
My son wants the Batman. I ripped the cape off. I said, "Fine, Jackson, have fun with it." I took the cape, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna put it on the Vulcan that I got.
Yeah.
Remember that? Didn't work. I put it on the Gaslight Batman. Doesn't work. I was gonna send it to you, but then I got that Batman off of eBay.
Yeah.
And now the son of a bitch that I am, I'm gonna have to hang on to it.
Is that wired?
No, I wish it was, but it's got such a great flow to it.
It does have a really nice. It'll sit drape on his shoulders real nice.
Yeah, so. I mean, obviously you can't tell now because there's nothing underneath it. But
yeah,
actually, you know what?
So why doesn't it work on the Gotham?
It just
doesn't sit right on his suit.
He doesn't have a flayed cape.
Yeah,
right. It's just a regular cloak, and this obviously has the back cuts to it.
Yep, exactly.
So aesthetically, with me being as OCD as I am, it doesn't work
for sure.
But tomorrow, when I get that other Batman in, and this is going to be a horrible comparison to make But I mean,
Oh, that sits on him nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and that Batman should work very well. This is actually a really good look.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna look so beautiful.
It will look good on that one. Because I think that one has a straight cape too. So that'll look nice on that.
Yeah, it's got the straight cape. It's got a wired cape,
Yeah.
and then it'll now have this.
Yeah.
Um.
That's got a nice blue to it too. So
Oh, it's a beautiful blue. Like it's it's a little bit of gray, not much. It's a nice, I guess, like a nice deep midnight blue,
yeah, it's a really nice blue.
and it's big too, mind you. This is about as big as it is from end to end.
That looks good, man. It'll look nice on that Batman figure for
Yeah,
sure.
there we go. It's a big beefy boy.
Yeah.
So
All right, I'm going to try getting this off one more time. See what happens. It
all right,
still says an error occurred. We're stuck on live forever, dude. I wonder what happens if I just close it out, but then we
it
can't.
would have to end.
Yeah. I'm going to try something real quick. Hold on. I'm going to try something, Rob. In just a second, log back in. Okay.
I'm working magic.
All right.
I'm by myself. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you here on the Teflon Show. And who needs pants? Yeah, I'm here by myself now.